everyone, and welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for coming to visit with us tonight. And in today's video, we're going to do Did You Ever? So come back and see if we ever did. Hello everyone, and thank you for coming to our channel tonight. Tonight, whichever time you're visiting with us. And Jade's here with me. And today's video was inspired by another YouTuber whose channel I watch. Her channel is her name, and her name is Robin Sadowski. And that's her also her channel's name. I haven't learned how to put the URLs down in the subscriptions and the links. So I'll just spell her name out here on the channel. And then that way you can go to her channel and watch it if you like. So I'm going to set Jade down now and get my notebook. I have the information written down here that I want to do. Are you going to stay up there, Jade, or are you going to get down? So I have the questions written down here. And there are 14 questions. Now, what I did was, on this, when she did this on her channel, she said if anybody else wanted to do it, that she would like for them to do it. So I thought it was a very interesting idea, and I liked the idea of doing it myself. But what I did was, I kind of tweaked it a little bit and added some questions of my own, you know, moved some things around and did it a little bit differently. I think she originally had like 5 or 6 questions, and like I said, I've got 14 here. So I will start off with the first one. Did you ever, or did I ever, call someone and ask, is your icebox running? And when they said yes, tell them you better go catch it. Now, when we were kids growing up, you didn't have telephone ID. So you could get away with doing stuff like that. You could call the grocery store and ask them if they had Prince Albert in a can and tell them they better let him out. They're going to smother. You could call Kentucky Fried Chicken and ask them if they had chicken legs. And if they said, yeah, you could say, well, if you wear long pants, nobody will know. Stuff like that. We could get away with it because we didn't have caller ID. But you can't do that now because I think they've got this thing too where they can star 69 and call your number back. So you can't get away with doing that fun stuff anymore like we did when we were kids. And number 2, did you ever, or did I ever, I keep forgetting this, did I ever put food on the stove and then forget about it? Yes, I have done that a few times, I must admit. The worst time I think that I ever done it was I put a dozen eggs on to boil, and I usually boil my eggs about 12 minutes. And I set a timer, but for this particular time, for some reason, I didn't set a timer up for it. And I went off into the bedroom. Now, the kitchen is over on the other side of the house. So when I go in the bedroom and shut the door, I can't tell what's going on in there. And I was watching TV or playing games on my phone or something. And then all of a sudden it popped in my mind, the eggs! And I remembered that they had been cooking for a long time. Or maybe the smoke alarm went off. I don't know. But anyway, I opened the door. The whole entire living room and the kitchen was filled with white smoke. And I was scared to go around that corner because I thought I'm going to walk into that kitchen and there's going to be flames. It's going to be on fire and I'm not going to know what to do. But thank the good Lord, when I went around the corner, it was just the water had boiled out and the eggs had burnt and cracked. Of course, no hard-boiled eggs for me because I burned them. So I had to throw them in the trash and start over. But yes, I have put food on the stove and walked off and forgot about it. Number 3, did I ever go to a wedding reception and get drunk? No, I have not. Now, I have been to a few wedding receptions, but you know, I don't think that any of the wedding receptions that I went to ever served alcohol. I can't remember if they did. If I went to some and they served alcohol, at that time I was probably underage and couldn't drink. And then when I was old enough to drink, the wedding receptions that I went to, they didn't have alcohol. They served punch or soft drinks. So no, I never went to a wedding reception and got drunk. And I don't even think if I went to a wedding reception and they were serving alcohol, that I would get drunk. I mean, not now, especially not now. Back when I was younger, I don't even think I would have done it then during my wild and woolly days when I was drinking a lot. I don't even think I would have got drunk then, but I sure definitely wouldn't do it now. And number 4, did you ever meet someone that you couldn't stand at first that later turned into a good friend? Now, actually, this has happened to me twice that I can remember. I'm thinking there was a third time, but I can only think of 2 for sure. And both of them were ladies that I work with, but not in the same place. Factories both times. And the one lady now is my super best friend. But when I first met that woman, it was 3 times. I remember the third time now. But when I first met her, I couldn't stand her. I thought she was just the most know-it-all kind of type person. I know everything. I know how to do everything and blah, blah, blah. But after we got put together to work, and we went off in a corner somewhere and kind of got to talking and found out we had a lot in common, and I developed a very close relationship with her. She became like a sister to me. I mean, real close. She helped me out. She gave me good advice on a lot of things. She loaned me money when I was down and out and needed it. She just became really the bestest friend. And then the other one was the same way. I couldn't stand the lady, and she ended up bonding with me whenever a boyfriend walked out on me and broke my heart. I got heartbroken, and she was there for me, and because I was like point to suicidal over the breakup, and she was there to hold me up and encourage me to not give up and to continue on, and that I could survive. And I think, honestly, if it hadn't been for her, I probably wouldn't have survived. And we became friends. And then the other one was another factory that I worked in, and this girl, I worked in one department and she worked in another. And every time I would walk by her department, she would be asking me a bunch of questions that I didn't think was any concern of hers. And so I just really didn't answer her. And then come one day, the manager of the place brought her back there to the department that I was working in for me to train her. I was actually kind of lead person over that department area. And they brought her back there and told me that I was going to train her to do what I was doing. When I saw them walk through the door and I seen that lady bring her back there, I thought, oh my goodness, of all the people she could bring back here for me to work with, why did she have to bring her? But we got to talking and we found out we had a lot in common. Our children were the same age. They were born in the same year, not the same month. They went to the same school together, graduated together. We both liked cats. We enjoyed the same foods. We just really bonded and became really close. She's still a good friend of mine today, and her family has kind of like adopted me. I spend most of my major holidays with them, and at Christmas time, they invite me over, and they always give me presents. They have gifts there for me. I mean, they're just like treat me like family. So yes, that has happened to me. I was thinking there was 3 times. I just had trouble thinking of that last one. Number 5. Have you ever bungee jumped or skydived? No, I never have, and I have no desire to do either one of them. Don't want to jump out on an airplane, and don't want to jump out with a rubber band attached to me. Number 6. Have you ever shoplifted anything? Did I ever shoplift anything? Yes, back in my wild and woolly days, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I was in a little bit of a phase where I did shoplift things. This was back before I had Jesus in my life. I didn't really care about myself, really. I guess I didn't care about myself and what happened to me. So I pretty much did whatever I felt like I was big enough to do, and shoplifting was one of the things that I did. I'm not proud of it, but it is a part of my history. It's something that I did do, and there you have it. Now you know a little bit more about me that you didn't know before. Number 7. Did you ever think about becoming the President of the United States? No, I never did. I was never interested in politics. Still to this day, I'm not interested in politics. I do vote, but it would never have occurred to me to try to go on and get into governmental jobs and then become the president of the United States. I wouldn't want that responsibility on my shoulders, for one thing, but I just never was interested in that kind of thing. Number 8, did I ever think about changing my birth name? Yes, I have thought about that a lot. I've wanted to change my last name back to my maiden name, but I've also wanted to change my first name. Um, I have a very, very close friend who's passed away, and I wanted to change my name to her name. But yeah, I have thought about changing my name. Y'all probably want to know what was the name I picked. Her name was Eloise. I wanted to change my name to Victoria Eloise. And number 9, did you ever have a crush on a teacher? No, I never did that I could remember. I don't think I ever had a crush on a teacher. Now, when I was younger and in school, I was the teacher's pet at one point for maybe one or two teachers. But I can't remember that I ever had a crush on any of my teachers. Did you ever go to a bonfire and roast hot dogs? No, I have never done that. I have been on hay rides before, but I've never got to go to the bonfire where they build that little pile of woods up in the middle and put the sticks on it, and then everybody sits around with marshmallows and hot dogs and sings songs by the campfire. I've never done that. Basically, because I'm not really into that kind of thing. I probably wouldn't be interested in even doing it. I wouldn't enjoy it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I probably wouldn't enjoy it. Number 11. Did I ever buy something, take it home, and never use it? Yeah, I've done that quite a few times. When I seen it in the store, I thought that I would really use it a lot. I've done it with clothes. I've bought a few items of clothes and brought them home and then hung them up, never wore them. In fact, I've got a pair of blue jeans in my closet right now that still got the tag on them. I've never wore them. They need to be hemmed. That's part of the reason why I never wore them. But I never hemmed them, and they're still in the closet with the original tag on them. They probably don't fit me now. And I think I've bought appliances, dishes, stuff like that I thought I would use. I know that I bought crafting supplies and brought them home and never used them, never did the craft that they were intended for. So yes, I have done that. Number 12, did I ever put something in a safe place only to never be able to find it again? Oh yes, I have done that lots and lots of times. One time I done it and never did find it and ended up moving away and still never find it when I moved. I thought, well, when I start packing things up to move, I'll probably run across it. Never did. There must have been some kind of secret hole in the wall that I stuck it in and couldn't remember what was at. But yes, I have put stuff up in safe places so that I won't lose them, only to never find them again. Part of growing old, maybe? I don't know. Number 13, did I ever buy a car and regret it and wish I hadn't? No, I don't really think that I have ever bought a car that I didn't like. Now, I did buy a car one time that wasn't really my first choice. It was actually the dealer. It was a lady car dealer that kind of steered me towards getting it. It was because she liked that particular type of car. She liked the way the chrome was on it and the way it was made and everything. She kind of pushed me towards buying it. But I didn't hate it after I bought it. I actually enjoyed having it. It was a nice car. But I don't think I've ever really bought one and got home with it and thought, this is a dud, this is a lemon, I hate it, I wish I'd never bought it. I've always enjoyed every car that I bought. Brand new, well, actually, I haven't had but one brand new car in my life. All the rest of them have been secondhand cars, used cars, if you want to call them that, 2 or 3 years old, 4 or 5 years old, whatever. And the last one, number 14, have I ever skinny dipped? Nope. Never have skinny dipped and do not have no plans to skinny dip. When I was younger and really had a better looking body than I do now, I still never wanted to skinny dip even then. I do love to swim, and I always enjoyed going to the lake and swimming. And when I was younger and had a better shape than I do now, I did wear bikinis, 2 pieces, and swim in them. But I have never had the desire to go skinny dipping. I don't even know where that comes from. Why somebody would even think that'd be fun. To me, no. I'm kind of a very private person, I guess if you want to say that. Always have been all my life about intimate things, and asking questions and stuff. Usually when there was things like that I wanted to learn about, I always went to the library and checked out a book or read about a magazine. I just wasn't one to ask people questions about stuff. So no, I would never go skinny dipping. Never have, never will. So that's it for this video. Did I ever? And thank you guys for watching. And if some of you guys that have channels out there want to do this, I would love to see what kind of ideas you could come up. You could use my questions or make up some questions of your own and do a video on it. I would be interested in hearing it. So thank you. And anybody that wants to, do the thumbs up. And y'all come back and see me any old time. Bye for this one.